Hello everybody, Dr. Stephen Greene here from Make the Grade. Today we're going to talk about vocabulary. I call it the Erudite Enigma. You know why I call it that? Because it's something everybody knows they need to improve, but they're not quite sure how, but they all want to do it. It's just true. I've worked with thousands of people, students, business people, salespeople, you name it, and they're all concerned about vocabulary. So it begs the question immediately, why is a sagacious vocabulary vital to your academic and career success? Now, if you don't know what sagacious means, we may have a problem. Sagacious means like a sage, wise. So why is it critical? And it's fairly obvious that better communication, whether it's oral or written, whether it's done online, offline, face-to-face, in a meeting, in an email, in a text, can only help you. People judge you based on how you communicate. If I was doing this presentation and saying, well, yeah, you'd have an immediate impression. Hopefully I'm coming across as someone who's scholarly, as someone who's authoritative, as somebody who knows what they're talking about. And nowadays, more and more communication is written, so it's there for people to see and analyze. But so many still important meetings, classes, conferences are still done face-to-face. And it's not just about your word choice, it's about your body language. But let's just stay with word choice for today. Precise word choice is so important. When you pick the right word for the right situation, you're giving the exact message you want. And I always love this quote by Twain, who was known in his day as a kind of a master of really spending hours and hours and hours writing just a sentence. And he said the difference between the right word and the almost right word is like lightning and a lightning bug. The effect, the impact it has. So are you elucidating? Are you making it clear? So where is communication and vocabulary so important? Obviously in school. When you're writing term papers, college essays, this may determine the course of your life. I don't want to overstate it, but it's probably true. There's a vocabulary-based section on the SAT. Everybody knows that. But also beyond school, beyond college, employment. Many, many, many jobs are sales-based. Whether you're actually selling a physical product or a service, you're always selling yourself. Communication and vocabulary are so important to this. And there's lots more things, but let's stay to the point here. Effective vocabulary and communication helps you get results in your life. It's just that simple. This is something I got. You'll see the source at the bottom. A test was done, a basic vocabulary test, and I can get a link to it if you're interested. And look at the results here. People at the top of the employment echelon always have better vocabulary. And more interesting is as you go down the grades of employment and the ranks, and by extension their salaries, there are less and less mastery of vocabulary. Presidents, vice presidents, C-suite people, way up there. They're scoring almost 90%. But the working level are at about a third, not even a half. And look at that. And it doesn't take that much to improve. So if you think it's not important in school, which it is, imagine where it's going to be later. You're going to spend way more time in your life working than you are going to be in school. So how do you ameliorate your lexicon mastery? Translate into English. How do you improve your vocabulary? All right, well, listen, there's a lot of ways you can do it. That's the beauty of it. I'm going to tell you about a really simple one soon. And you'll see the source. I borrowed a little bit of this, not word for word, obviously, at all, because there's are very common things, but I always like to give credit where it's done. Read. It's a little bit of a wives' tale that only reading will improve your vocabulary. But it's not just the reading. It's the exposure to the words and the context. We learn vocabulary in context. No one can read when they're 4 or 3 when you begin speaking. You pick it up out of context. Learn the dictionary. The dictionary is our friend. Dictionary is where all the words are. Practice. If you don't use your new vocabulary, you will never retain it. How many times have you learned a word in school and you had a quiz on Friday and you knew what the word meant? Then you take the quiz and you get it right and you're all excited. Then 3 weeks later, somebody says, what does this word mean? You know, oh, forget it. It was my vocabulary word 3 weeks ago. Set goals. Learn a word a day. How hard can that be? But you got to retain it. Make sure you know what the words mean. In a way, it's almost worse when somebody walks around spouting out a bunch of big words and they're used incorrectly. Keep a vocabulary journal. Write down the words you want to learn. Write down the words you've already learned. Enjoy it. There's a reason why there's all these fancy words, because they have meaning. But you have to want to do it, and you have to enjoy doing it. Here's a neat idea. Learn words from different areas. If you're interested in sports, obviously you're going to know all the sports jargon. But then pick up a book about music. Learn specific vernacular that's for that area. Music. Any hobby. Photography has a language all of its own. F-stop, aperture, all sorts of things. But the most important thing is you have to have a plan. There is a plan. The Make the Grade plan. I am happy to teach this to anyone. It's simple. I help develop it. It works 100% of the time. 100% of the time. You just have to use it. Ask me about it. I will show you, and we'll go from there. But basically, not to totally tease you about it, it's based on us learning a small amount of words with a high repetition over a long period of time. Okay, so you ready to start? Try it for your lesson. I will teach you some of this. All of it. I'll show you how to do it because it's important and it helps build the foundation for so many other things. Here's how you get a hold of me. I'm going to show you one other thing in a second. Dr. Stephen Greene, Make the Grade. Here's the phone number. Here's the email. Here is the website. Here is the Twitter feed. Here is the Facebook page. And here is the Instagram and every other online resource that we have. Let me show you one more thing. If we shoot over here to the Make the Grade website. Okay, look at this. Resources. So if you're on the home page and it's kind of a new site, look at that handsome guy. Got all kinds of stuff here. But specifically, go to resources and look at what's here. You got a comparison, the SAT and ACT, which are the hot topic, but more importantly, here's lots of words you can learn. Lots of words you can learn. More words than you may ever want to learn. But they're all here. And it keeps going, and it keeps going, and it keeps going. And look at this, there's a copious number of words. Okay? Do not have trepidation about learning this. Don't have torpor. Be proactive. Okay? Go for it. Here's even more words, and more words, and more words, and more words, and then some links at the bottom to that. So again, Dr. Stephen Greene, thank you for watching this. Please leave me some comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know when you're ready to get going. And let's make vocabulary your friend, your compatriot, to give you a better shot at anything and everything in your life. Thank you very much. Talk to you next time.